camera, but nothing's been
And we
modified.
are live.
Well, hey.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Who are you people?
I
I
don't
don't know.
fucking know.
Wow.
I just work here.
I just work here. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yep, that's it. Anyone ask me, what do you do? I just work here.
Yep. What do you do for a living? Work. Why are you asking? I mean, that's like, if I don't know somebody, they ask me that, that's exactly what I say, is I just say I work. Like, look, I don't know you. I don't need to give you my, whole life story here.
I just work here.
I just work.
Exactly.
Oh, what does your job entail? I don't know. I'm not paid enough to know that.
I'm sorry, that's
Exactly.
either that or you just hit him with the I'm sorry, that's classified, which opens up so many more questions
Under
that
NDA.
you can just troll them with. What do you do? I work for the government. What do you do for the government? That's classified.
I used to work for the government.
I used to work for the government as well. Like, legitimately, I used to work for the government.
And I got paid shit for it.
Yeah.
Yep. Same here.
Ouch.
Yeah. With certifications and everything. So, fun.
And they still pay you like shit.
Yeah.
No, they still paid me like shit, and I make more working at fast food.
Oh.
Yeah, starting. I've been there for a year, and I've already gotten 3 pay raises.
Yep. For the amount of work that, I had to do, pay wasn't great.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? Got my foot in the door, and, was partially why I've got the job that I've got now. So, thumbs up.
It'll go.
Experience and I don't know what's that artists are paid in.
Exposure.
Exposure, yes.
Pesos. Oh.
Pesos.
Bitcoin.
Twitch fun bucks. But yeah. Apologies for the dark camera tonight. It is hot as hell in my room and I cannot open my doors. So my camera's gonna be a little darker tonight, but you know what? It fits with the aesthetic of these islands. So hopefully this weekend I can get down to Sam's Club or something and buy a new AC unit. I might just, say screw it and try the AC unit that I have in my room tomorrow. See what it does. Who knows? Anyway, that's not why we're here. We took last week off because, life and things are always a thing. But we're here now. The last time we were together, you had a bit of a fight with a, I don't even know if we can call it a fight.
I would have won.
You guys stood your ground pretty well against a certain Death Knight and the undead unicorn that it was riding.
It's fine.
Much to my surprise, like I honestly didn't expect you guys to handle that as easily as you did. Though you made a new friend, kind of, as you were both against the some sort of strange demonic cult that had been going through the forest, killing certain creatures, taking certain parts of the body and everything. And you began to learn that the 3 cults that you were told about were technically all entailed into one large cult, or it was one cult that that was known by many names. But after having a bit of a discussion with Sir Varric, the Death Knight that you had previously fought, you came across a carriage while you were investigating the glade where the unicorn was murdered. Not really expecting, or not really knowing what to expect, a couple of you stepped out in front of the carriage while others hid in the bushes as you came across a what you thought at the time was another possible royal vampire house, given the regalia and everything on the carts and the house symbol and everything on it. You met a young Samuel Fowline, a young vampire lord who, after a bit of discussion, for more or less convinced you and your friends to join him inside the cart to speak to his mother, the Countess Isolde Fowline, who insisted upon you leaving your weapons outside the cart, as you were strangers and you were technically at that point in time wearing the crest of a very despised royal, not royal, but a despised house to this family. Upon entering in, Isolde began to try to convince you all that the crests that you were wearing at this point in time were more a danger to you than they would be a boon, and offered instead to sponsor you herself by giving you the crest of her family to wear instead. Some of you seemed to be a little on board, others weren't really buying what she was saying. Kemek was flat out, in her mind calling her a liar. But discussions were had, no hostility was shown between either side, and she had agreed to take you back towards, why is this map zoomed in so close? Towards the town of Thornburg, where you at this point in time had a residence that you were staying in while you were investigating the activities of these cults. Though, as this is D&D and nothing ever goes according to plan, you quickly found yourself in a bit of a pickle, as you were informed from the outside that the cart was currently, or the carriage was currently under attack, and as such was speeding away from the area.
Sure it was. We were under attack.
You were under attack. And as we pick up today, there is definitely a bit more turbulence, I guess you would call it, inside this cart, as the entirety of the inside begins to shake. And then there's a little jolt, just a simple jolt, as you kind of like raised off your seat for a moment and set back down. And then everything seems to be calm once again, though it looks as if Isolde has a very annoyed look on her face at the moment. As I think there's Raven.
Yep. Minor breakage, nothing serious.
That's all good. I'm trying to get the Sirenscape to work.
Does Sirenscape ever really want to work?
Apparently not, because it's deciding not to pick up. Give me a second here. Did I set it on the wrong audio channel? Let's see. I did set it on the wrong. Yes, it worked. Okay, need to turn this up because this is very. Also, Fox, I have to say I love the Vampire Hunter D gif that you put out there for today's show.
That would be Zoro that did that. 'Cause I was not.
Okay, well, Zoro, I love that you put the Vampire Hunter D gif out there.
She might be with Kiddo.
Thank
Yep.
you so much for knowing what it's from.
Oh, that's one of my favorite anime series or movies or whatever you want to call it.
Same. Yeah.
But as you are like flying, you can see that Isolde is sort of like looking down into something in her hand. She's got like a very furrowed brow, very unladylike, ignoring you as her guest, but it seems as if something has caught her attention. Yes, of course. It sort of just closes her hand and stuffs something back down into like a small like hip purse that she has. My apologies. It seems that we will be waylaid from dropping you off in Thornburg. My apologies. It's not what I was expecting, but hopefully my men down below will be able to deal with the ordeal and we can get you back home safe and sound in the morning.
If there's anything that we can assist with, just say the word.
Unfortunately, in order to do that, I would have to expose my son to danger to let you out of this cart. You need not worry. We are well away from the area now, and we'll be touching down at a safer location in about an hour. I hope this goes to show that I was honest in my regard to keep you safe.
I think it does.
I will agree, it is a bit convenient that this happened while I was discussing the ordeals of the other houses, but that is life here. When you invite criminals to stay in your home, crime will happen.
We're not allowed to leave.
It's not that I am holding you hostage, if that's what you believe. To have you leave now would cause you to fall to your deaths.
Of course it would.
It's like you are welcome to look outside the carriage windows if you do not believe me. We are
I'll definitely look.
Yep, and you walk over and you kind of like boost yourself up to look out the window, and you are well above the tree line of the Thorn's Edge forest, flying what you would assume is due east.
Is this an illusion or anything?
Your eye isn't telling you that it's false. And it's not like when you were trying to get a reading off of Isolde earlier. You can feel your eye working. You know, it's magic, and you don't necessarily see anything that would tell you that this was a lie or if there was something hidden.
Okay.
Aren't you guys supposed to be level 12?
Remember we got the double level up, didn't we?
Oh, that's right.
14.
14.
14.
Oh, your character cards still say 12. Probably my fault. I probably didn't update them. But yes, Kamek, you can see that you are most definitely airborne at the moment.
Can you at least tell us where we're going? I think that might put some of us more at ease.
We are going to how do you put it? A safe house. We are too far from the family home to make it there by sunrise. We were expected at a campsite, but now that this has happened, we will have to retire to a safe house, as is our plan anytime we are attacked. We are not a well-liked house here. We've fallen from grace over the years. Some of the other houses would prefer to see us wiped out.
Seems like that is like the consensus of all the houses about how they feel about each other. Nobody around here seems to like each other.
When you deal with politics and then include immortal races, it tends to devolve over time.
That is why I live in the woods by myself.
Would we all be so lucky? My house's fall from grace resulted from an issue that took place well over a couple hundred years ago.
You're around people that live a long time, fights last longer.
Grudges last, yes, especially if bad blood between houses erupts, I guess.
And if it's not too personal, what exactly was this fall from grace?
Your classic lover spat. My husband, well, my former husband, decided or was in the way of thinking that we should begin to tolerate the non-vampires more than the other houses were willing to let in. He wished that, well, he saw more of a use for them than just meat. I, on the other hand, wanted to keep things the old ways, to help our my newly adopted home flourish more. Instead, he took himself and our firstborn son with him and went south. Left me here in disgrace. Some of the vampire families thought it was my fault that he left. His leaving severely weakening his own house. Though none would actually see it that way, as one of his is currently in the highest seat of power here. My house, on the other hand, we've had to claw and scrape our way back to where we are even now. My house and those that agree with me wish to do away with us being the wardens of these criminals that the rest of the world seems to just feel as if they can send to our home, polluting it with their filth and corruption. Almost as if we were nothing but beasts to be kept happy, so that we didn't, for lack of a better term, spread our wings and expand.
So all of these people that are being sent here, all of these criminals or whatever they happen to be, is that not like an agreement that the houses have? Or are people just dumping their prisoners here without really consulting anyone?
It depends on who you ask. There was a time where a deal was struck. Back when our kingdom was at its weakest, we had to close our borders. We had to, in a sense, circle our wagons. We were weak. We were beaten back from a war that took way too long and cost way too many lives. And as such, we couldn't go out to other lands and procure food. So we struck a deal with some of the surrounding areas that they would send us their criminals, those who were the dregs of their societies, those who incurred a death penalty, but they did not wish to swing the axe themselves. Those people were to hold us over until we can regrow our numbers, until a time came when our kingdom was once again thriving. But after that incident and our kingdom began to grow stronger, other nations decided that it would be a good idea to keep us happy, keep us fed, keep us fat. In that sense, we would not leave. We would not go and try to conquer other lands. We would try to unseat them in their own seat of power. And unfortunately, many of the houses here feel that that's the best way. They offer us tribute with their criminals, and we don't rain hell upon them with our navy.
Suppose I could see both angles of that. I mean, if I were in your shoes, I don't think I would be very happy at all about being placated in the way that they attempt to placate you. But
It's insulting.
from the perspective of other nations, I can understand why they would fear you as well.
As they should. As outsiders, I doubt any of you know the strength of our navy or the history of it. We have one of the strongest and largest navies in a good section of this world. Very few nations would be able to stand under our naval might alone. And yet, we don't act. Yet, our ships patrol our naval borders, and that's it. A once proud navy turned into gate guards.
Now, I don't claim to know anything about politics, but from my perspective, it seems like the better thing to do would to try to be your ally rather than placate you.
We are very choosy of allies.
Makes all that more, what's the word, desirable.
Those who have tried to ally with us in the past, mortal races, tend to try to control us, use us for our might and for our physical advantages. We were never truly seen as equals. We were seen as just an extension of their power. My dream is to reunify the families under the old ways. Purge these little towns that are polluting our once proud home, and expand through the sea once again, claiming new territories, thriving as we should.
And what of the people that were born here from prisoners that were sent here? The people that aren't vampiric, but also aren't criminals. Would you purge them as well, or would they be welcome?
They were born from cattle. They should be used as cattle. I know it's harsh for me to say, but it's the truth. Most of my people think the same way, but they are too polite to say it.
Well, I appreciate your honesty at the very least.
Sounds wonderful.
I don't expect anyone here to understand where we are coming from. Your lives are not as ours. You are not as long-lived as we are. Our desires and our needs are, yes, most definitely different from yours. But is it not our right to live as we were intended? Not to be kept as guard dogs for criminals?
I think it's certainly your right to choose how you wish to live. Choices may or may not have consequences, but the choice should be yours regardless.
And the ones that don't have a choice just because they happen to live here, they just automatically get involved. Part of the cattle.
They get involved in other ways already. These cattle are used by houses as puppets. Little assassins in the night. If they get caught, who cares? They're not breaking any laws trying to slay a vampire. So the other houses use them, use their criminal skills to infiltrate, to steal information, to kill. These cattle are also a cog in the political discourse of this nation. If we were to go back to the old ways, they need to leave.
Maybe the old ways weren't working out.
The old ways were working just fine. It's just those who were afraid of failure decided that it would be better to remain as kept pets for the rest of the world.
I mean, that is the basics around, domesticating animals. Feed them, keep them in one place long enough, they eventually lose some of their bite.
And that is just it. I do not wish us to be the world's animals. They're dogs. Feeding off of dirt scraps that they throw to us. The Vacter, thank you for that raid. Now, when I speak of the old ways, I do not mean world domination. That's a goal of fools. But as any other nation should, we should be allowed to attempt to expand, to find new lands, to grow our own culture, not watch over those who the rest of the world no longer wants in their societies.
From the sounds of it, your house is not very well liked by others. What is stopping you from just doing just that? Something saying you can't pick up and go do what you wish to do?
There is. None are allowed to leave this island without special permission. Only on errands of a diplomatic matter are any of the members of a house allowed to leave this island. We cannot take our fleets. We cannot take our troops. We are given one boat and a time frame to return.
And what happens if you don't return?
That depends on whose land we are in at that point in time. Here, individuals tasked with taking care of dissidents are then sent out. In other parts of the world, if their ruling class catches wind that a dignitary from our land has overstayed their welcome, well, they are welcome to do to us whatever they wish. In a way, we ourselves are prisoners of our own land. I cannot stand for this. I will not stand for this. But anytime I make headway, anytime I turn a house to our opinion, more assassination attempts are thrown out, more spies are found, more destruction of the inner workings of my house take place. I may gain a foot forward, but I'm taking 4 steps back.
Have you considered maybe trying to join the rest of the world peacefully? I mean, the people that gave us these pins, they are a vampire house, but we met them in a different land, and they seem to be viewed as allies, as friends. Would it not benefit your people to pursue that avenue as well?
And in a ways, I have pursued it. But you see, the house that is so well liked in the rest of the world is the house of that of my former. My son is the diplomat that goes between the rest of the world and here. Though he refuses to see me, he refuses to speak to me. He even refuses to say my name and only refers to me as that woman. His father has polluted his mind with what I am. You have no idea how much it hurts me to have my own blood, my own child, look at me as nothing more than a monster. They work to try to open the borders once again, but it will fail. Those in control right now will see to it. Something just walked by your window. Fox.
Oh, that's eerie.
Right?
Yeah, because that window should be too high for anything to walk past it.
I just saw something in like the distance walk by it, like 4-legged, like to the left side.
It's probably a cat.
Probably Candy.
Pretty big cat.
It's Candy.
It's probably a raccoon.
Candy.
Although it could be a big cat. We've got cougars around here.
Yo.
Ow. But I need a means to turn them. to my vision. And I'm trying ever so hard to do so. This cultist activity that seems to be rampaging through the land seems to be a good means to gain a little bit of favorable reputation with the other houses. You all seem to be investigating this as well.
We are, yes.
I would be so bold to ask that you consider doing this task in my family's name.
How would the other houses feel about you enlisting the help of outsiders in order to do this?
They enlist the use of outsiders all the time.
I suppose that's true. They did originally enlist us, so.
We think.
The use of outsiders is not something that is unheard of through here. Normally it's for situations that we ourselves are either forbidden from laying a hat in, or we just do not have the resources to invest in ourselves, so we outsource. So I tend to not like to hire criminals. So you do not strike me as the sort.
I don't think we've broken any laws. Or if we have, we haven't been arrested for it. So technically not criminals.
I think it's all in point of view.
It's true, we did kind of, well, some of us did kind of lay siege to a capital city. So I suppose that is mildly against the law.
Well, again, point of view. If you came out victorious, well, then you get to write it from your point of view.
True.
If you had failed, then yeah, you'd totally be a criminal.
If we had failed, like half the world would be destroyed right now, so we wouldn't have to worry about it.
Committing war crimes.
So it sounds like I am in good company then.
Perhaps. We are a group of varied opinions. And I think that is one thing that makes us a very strong group. So, though I am quite amicable to your situation, I can't speak for anyone else around me.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to do this for free either. I would happily sponsor you. You would find that my sponsorship is much more beneficial than what you've probably been offered by the other house. You said they had you staying in an apartment in Thornburg.
Yes.
That's very uncouth.
Step up than where I am most of the time, so I'm not complaining.
Beats camping.
Indeed, it
I
does.
quite enjoy my tent.
And this apartment, does it have the amenities that you need? Or is it just a
Yes.
means to sleep?
Can't speak for everyone else, but it has everything I certainly need.
It has enough room for Kamek to set up their tent, which has the amenities that we need in it.
Looks at Mia. Like I said, it has everything I need.
I see. Well, I can offer you something more comfortable than just a cramped apartment, even if you were to set a tent up inside of it. Along with, let's say, a weekly stipend to cover any expenses that you may need. I'm not so ignorant into the way of adventuring that, the needs of weapon armor repairs, fall on deaf ears.
Considering how we're going to be on the road most of the time, I don't think that will mean much to me as far as comforts go.
Oh, you have much to learn about this land.
I'm sure of it. Polite pass.
It's fine. I hold nothing against any of you who decline my offer. No harm will come to you. Nothing will be done. You'll be given safe passage in my home, and in the morning, you will be free to go.
I sure hope so.
And as you are having this conversation, there's a knock on the door of the carriage. And she smiles and stands. She's like, seems we have arrived. Please. Kind of motions to the door as it opens up.
Taking a look outside the door before stepping out or anything. What seems to be out there?
As you look outside, you see just like this very expansive, dimly lit room. You can see stone pillars like spread out, supporting like a second story of whatever you are in. So from the feel and even the slight scent of it, it seems like you are in some form of grandiose house with a large enough foyer to allow a carriage full access.
Is this the safe house that you mentioned?
One of many, yes. When we are traveling and we run into trouble or time gets away from us and we must retire away from the adverse effects of the sun, we retire to these houses.
Quite impressive. I don't suppose a place like this has a library of its own, does it?
They come with all the amenities of a great house. They are also considered neutral territory, meaning no blade is to be drawn, no blood is to be spilt, no life is meant to be ended. If you are in here, you are safe.
Well, if this hospitality is being offered to us for the evening, I would certainly accept.
My home is your home. Now, I cannot hold you here for tonight, though I would highly suggest that nobody leave. These islands are not hospitable once the sun sets.
Yes, we heard the screaming last night.
There are much worse things than being hunted by my kind.
I believe it.
She sort of walks, she exits the carriage herself along with her son, and she turns to the rest of you. I bid you all a fair evening. If you change your mind, the pins will be waiting for you in the morning when you leave.
And where can we collect our weapons?
And she kind of motions to the back of the carriage. My man will provide you with your items as soon as you exit the carriage.
Thank you for your kindness and your hospitality.
I hope this builds a rapport with us. That me and my house are not considered monsters in your eyes, as some of the other houses may have you believe. In your travels, you may hear some very nasty things about us.
I think all of us are a little too wise to rely on rumors alone.
My wish is that more were like you. Too many are willing to believe what they're told without question.
It's a problem across the whole world, I'm afraid, not just here.
Anyway, I must see to a bit of nourishment myself. I bid you all a fair evening. Feel free to explore the home as it is. As long as you stick to the rules, nothing will happen to you.
Just gonna give her a courteous bow as she makes her exit.
Kamek follows right behind. GTFO style.
Yeah, I want to get out and get my things. So,
Yep.
not very
Honestly.
happy about being completely disarmed.
And as soon as you get off of the carriage, the gentleman in the back opens up the chest and distributes all of your items back to you. If you are looking for rooms, the third story has plenty.
That is perhaps where I'll be headed then. Where might I also find the library?
The Grand
Damn it,
Library.
beat me to it.
The Grand Library is on the 4th floor. I should say it is the 4th floor.
4th floor. Is it all right if we visit this library?
You have been given access to the house. All of its amenities are at your service.
Wonderful.
Immediately walk up the stairs.
Before we go, is this house all for the lady, or is this something where we need to put our pins back on?
You need not put the pins back on, though you may feel safer with them. This house is not just for the lady. As she mentioned, it is sort of a safe house for those traveling through the island at the time. There may be others from other houses here, but this is neutral ground.
Very well. I'm not gonna put the pin on just yet, but it's something she's contemplating.
Okay.
I mean, at best, she has it on. It's flipped inside.
It's on the inside of the coat.
Yeah, so you can
Okay.
see the other side of it poking out. There's a pin. You just can't see the symbol.
Okay, so Kemek and I wanted to say Callie. Kemek
Nope,
and
no
Kemek,
Callie anymore.
no Callie anymore. Kemek and Mia are headed to the library. Not the rest of you.
Yep.
I would like to find apothecary to remove a curse.
Curse do you have?
unicorn's curse.
I think we all have the
Oh,
unicorn's
that's
curse right now, yeah.
right. None of you know that, though. None of you know that you have a curse on you
I
at
feel
the
like
moment.
shit. Fine.
Some of us do feel like shit,
Find me
because
a
some of us
training
had our
dummy.
strength reduced.
You did. By the way, yeah, let me look at that paper. I wrote down curse.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I could be like, I feel like shit, something's up.
Yep, it could also just be, you know, you can feel it at the moment from just the exhaustion from the fight and the whole ordeal that's been going on. Nothing at the moment necessarily stands out to you. Maybe just a bit of exhaustion.
Val doesn't really have much to do, so she probably try and find some place just to have a drink. It's been a long day. We've been given a lot of information.
True. There is the gentleman behind the carriage who just gave you your items, points you in the direction on the first floor that is more of a tavern for individuals such as yourselves, non-vampires who are in service to a house who need a bit of respite. Good place to get a meal and a drink that isn't blood.
That's where Val will go, and she won't like tune out everyone else. She'll keep an ear out just for any interesting tidbits she might hear while she's in there.
Okay. What about Alistair and Cass?
You ask good fucking questions.
What are you doing?
What are you buying?
What are you buying?
I think I mean, I didn't. I think Cass needs to go have a paladin moment of contemplation about dealing with
A paladin in a vampire safe house.
that's not the problem. It's
Conflicts.
so this other house is
You're in a bar.
questionable at best, and
Politics. Everyone's questionable at best.
true.
Vampire politics at that.
No, I definitely think this is a contemplation moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you going to the tavern as well, or are you going off to like a room just to contemplate?
I'm going off to the room to contemplate and just mentally get through all of that.
Okay. Alistair, what about you? Where are you headed?
I don't know if I heard this bit, but does the whole group have to decide if we're going with her, her like pin stuff, or?
She said that anybody who wished to bear the crest of her house is welcome to, but she was not going to hold it to anybody who didn't want to. So that seems to be something that is up to you and up to the rest of the group if they want to maybe wear different pins for different houses, or if you all want to fly the same colors.
Whoever is, I don't know, is Jeeves around, the butler guy?
The gentleman that
Probably.
gave you the items at the carriage is still there.
Okay. He's going to like tell him that he wishes to what's the word? Choose her her option, and afterward he's probably gonna go find some clues, maybe snoop around to see if he can hear anything about this freaking cult. Maybe if he hears some tidbits. That's pretty much what he's gonna do.
Okay.
Because he needs more information. He's been on this for months.
He's been on this for months, and this is pretty much the only headway he's made.
Exactly. He's like, he's like, Kemek, you're being rude as fuck. I don't care, but this is my only option. I gotta go with it.
Kemek has been polite. Kemek's just been sassy.
Mm-hmm.
You've been sassy.
The sass,
Lunch as fuck.
The sass has been turned up to 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kemek no likey.
But okay, so yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation roll. And I'll let you know throughout the night, you know, what if you're just doing like general investigation, we can do it now, or if there's like an area that, like a specific area that you're going to in the house, we can do a more specific roll for it.
I know there's a bar, but is there like a barracks? Maybe I can get some information or eavesdrop on some soldiers or something.
And as you ask about the barracks, the gentleman at the carriage kind of shakes his head. So, unfortunately, sir, the only people who are allowed in the soldiers' quarters are house soldiers. You may represent a house, but you are not of a house.
Okay, then probably the bar, just to kind of eat.
If you were looking for information regarding the island and its happenings, there are currently servants of, well, I should say, sponsored individuals, certain houses that are here tonight, that have found themselves in the midst of the library and of the tavern.
Yep, he'll go do that.
Okay.
He'll tell him thank you, and yeah, he'll be on his way.
All right. So let's go around here on the table. So Mia and Kemek going to the library. Now, as you're heading to the library, is this a controlled pace, or are you two like trying to race one another to see who gets the books first?
I think just, at least on Mia's part, just a casual pace. Especially if this library takes up a whole floor. We've got time.
Yeah, casual.
Okay. So you begin to make your way up the stairs to the 4th floor, and it is a very expansive library. Like, when they said the entire floor was the library, they were not kidding. Like, every inch of wall in this on this floor is covered in books and tomes and scrolls and maps. The open floor space is all covered in tables and different bookshelves. It looks like it houses centuries and centuries of information here.
Are the sections like plainly laid out? Like if we were looking for something specific, would we know which section of the library to go to?
Thankfully, the those who upkeep this library definitely have everything organized and correctly placarded for the bookshelves, telling you what each one of the areas is going to contain.
I would like to track down a section that has information about curses. And I would like to attempt to find anything I can on rune scarring, the curse that Etrin was inflicted with.
Oh yes, rune scarring. Give me a sec. Yeah, go ahead and give me a investigation roll.
That is a good way to start the day. That's a 25.
A 25. So you not only find a tome, like specifically dealing with curses, like a very thick tome of curses itself, but in the title in such, it specifically mentions rune scarring. A tome dedicated to hagborn curses. As you reach out to take this tome, another hand collides with you. As you see, standing next to you, kind of a bit flustered, is this halfling woman. Very short, brown hair, a very vibrant green and golden tunic, with a pin on the collar of a golden scroll clasped by a silver dragon claw. Oh, I'm dreadfully sorry. I did not see you. I was in the midst of research.
And I apologize as well. I was so lost in my own thoughts that I didn't see you. Seems we're both going for the same tome here.
Are you also a scholar in the means of curses and other uses of dark magic?
I am attempting to be. Most of my experience is hands-on, let's say. So I'm trying to do a bit more research before I get even more hands-on.
Hands-on as you yourself have been cursed, or you know of those who have been cursed, or?
A little from column A, a little from column B. It's been an interesting few years, to say the least.
See, kind of like forgets about the book and just completely starts like giving you a once over. So you can see that she's like sort of like mumbling under her breath. She's sort of like walking around you, and just like she takes your hand and opens your fingers and checks like the webbing of your hand and like underneath your fingernails. And yeah, your skin coloration seems to be a bit off, but I don't see anything
It does?
yet of any telltale sign of curse.
Yeah, I don't think I'm cursed at the moment.
That's good to hear. Curses on this island are horrible.
Yes, I don't think I've contracted any curses on this island yet. Hopefully I don't at all. But that's why I'm here studying, just in case.
I see. Have you come across any hags recently? See that you were going for this tome on hagborn curses.
I'm acquainted with some. I wouldn't say I've well, no, I have spoken to some recently. I haven't been on their bad side recently.
Well, no, you were standing here. That makes sense that you weren't on their bad side. What curse in particular were you looking for?
A friend of mine has been inflicted with rune scarring.
As you say that, her eyes light up. Rune scarring?
Yes, quite rare as far as I've learned.
Extremely rare. Is your friend still around, or have they already transformed?
They've already transformed, I'm afraid.
Oh my.
I'm
Sorry
trying
to
to
hear.
learn what I can to maybe reverse it.
Oh. Rune scarring is a favorite topic of mine. It's one of the curses that I've become more acquainted with than others. At this point in time, through my studies at least, I've been unable to discover any means of safely reversing the effects once the individual has transformed into a tome.
Now, you said safely. Have you come across ways to do it that are potentially unsafe?
I myself have never attempted to reverse it, though there are documented records that have had varying results, though most of them end in a catastrophic way.
As do many of the things that we get involved in. But that sounds like as good a place as any for me to start. I'm really starting with no information other than like the basics of what rune scarring is. So I'm just trying to take in everything I possibly can.
Oh, well, if you are ever in need of more knowledge, the libraries here are nice, but nowhere as near as impressive as the Grand Library of House Vandross.
Well, if that is where I might find some answers, I'd certainly love to pay it a visit, though I must admit I'm fairly new to this region. I don't know what the procedure is for someone like me to access such a library.
She kind of smiles, nods. Newcomer. Well, if you see anyone with this, and she kind of points to the crest. That is the house crest of House Vandross. We are scribes. We are tasked with keeping the history of this island and of its inhabitants. I myself am tasked with record keeping of the more occult side of things here on the island. Curses, outsiders, demons, hags, that sort of thing.
Well, I've got experience with all of those things, so perhaps we can be of use to each other.
I would love to pick your brain at some time.
I've got time right now.
Well, if you wish, we can get one of the rooms and share our knowledge as to what we know in regards to or rune scarring to begin.
That sounds great. Why don't we take this tome with us that we were both reaching for here?
That is wonderful. I'm Rosalind, by the way.
Mia.
Nice to meet you, Mia.
Wonderful to meet you.
Okay, so you two are going to go into like one of like the side study rooms in this library. As you are sharing information and everything with each other, can you give me, let's just do another investigation roll.
Sure can. That is going to be the exact same number it was before, 25.
25. So, in your discussion with Rosalind and going through the book, you find that the curse of rune scarring is a very violent and personable curse. It's not something that a hag would normally choose to put on an individual unless that individual has slighted them in such an extreme way, as using the curse itself puts an immense amount of pressure on the individual who casts it. While it's not as damning as the curse itself, they tend to find themselves permanently weaker as they use a bit of their own magical essence to seal that curse onto an individual. There are rumors that if you were to kill the hag that set the curse upon an individual before they were to unfortunately turn into a tome, that the curse would be lifted. Though record documentation of something like that is very few and far between. It's still almost on the conjecture of rumor at the moment. While some have claimed to reverse it, others have claimed that it has done nothing and has only expedited the effect of changing an individual into a tome. And as the two of you are discussing the adverse effects of rune scarring, she looks around for a moment and leans in close. If you are curious enough about this, there is a certain hag who is happy to share information for a price over in Silas Bog.
I'm most definitely interested in that.
And she reaches into a like a satchel on her hip, and she pulls out a small glass vial with what looks to be a dried basil leaf in it. If you ever find yourself in the bog and you wish to have an audience, take this, fill it up with a little bit of the bog water, shake it up, and drink it. Consume the leaf as well, and she will find you.
This helps me immensely. What can I do in return for this?
She kind of smiles and shakes her head, like, nothing that you can give me would be adequate payment. We shared knowledge. That's what I and the house I serve seek.
Your quest is certainly a noble one, and should I learn anything else that I feel may be of use to you, I will happily pass it along.
If you see anyone wearing this crest, you can share that information with them if I am not around.
I will keep that in mind. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm going to say this entire ordeal with you discussing the curse and the hags and everything is probably going to take about 4 hours.
Sounds about right, because it's probably a pretty extensive conversation, and I'd certainly fill her in on any questions that she has without giving away too much personal information. But with all the things that we've experienced, I'd certainly share some of that with her.
Okay. Kamek, as you yourself are also in the library.
Yes.
What exactly are you looking for, or what are you perusing for at the moment?
I'm looking for a small handful of things because I got to put my hand in all the cookie jars.
Chemic, handful of books.
I know, right? Never.
Looking for in a man.
Never. Chemic is going to. Chemic is asexual. They don't give a fuck.
But just in general.
Chemic is looking for first the history of the island, of what happened before things changed, to kind of read up on what the lady meant beforehand.
Okay.
The time of what happened, kind of leading up to what caused the change and everything in history. They also want to look up the families, specifically the two houses that are kind of pinned against each other at the moment. As well as, it's more of just like an afterthought, but kind of sentient, intelligent death knights. But that's kind of like at the end, if they have time, they're just like, yeah, let's do this first.
Give me one moment here.
You good?
No.
Okay, so what would you like to attempt to find information on first?
So like I said, with the first book, it's just the history of what the time was really like what was the norm for politics and how people were treated as a whole, both the families and non, and then how it kind of got to where it is now.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation roll with that.
Say more, fam. Let's see here. Once I figure out where the hell I put my character sheet. Oh, holy shit. Okay, yeah, let's go. Okay, I too am starting off great. 26.
26. So you are able to find one specific tome in the section of the library that you are in that deals with the known recorded history of this nation. And as you peruse through it, you do begin to piece things together about how Shul Gavhon had at one point in time been a military powerhouse. Its especially its naval fleet were feared far and wide. But an unfortunate event occurred to where the military itself was almost poisoned from the inside. Somehow a rival nation had gotten a couple vampires from their lands into the higher ranks of the naval fleet, and they began to destroy the inner workings, to where ships were sent to the wrong place, other ships were sabotaged, entire fleets were killed, greatly weakening the campaign that the vampire nation had been conducting for about 20 years. They were all set to conquer not only Odag, but the northernmost parts of... I'm a horrible GM because I can't remember that nation's name. Campaign 2.
Oh, stay with
Talendra?
Talendra, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Like they were in the midst of conquering the northern part of Talendra as well, when the naval fleet was pretty much crippled. causing them to retreat back to their own lands and close their borders off in order to just even survive. At this point in time, there were two houses that were the most prevalent, the most powerful, the most well-respected. And that was the houses of Dolan's Morte and Faline. There was even records of a grand marriage mentioned inside the history book that you have that seemingly changed the course of history for the island, the way that their political influence sort of almost mutated over the years due to one of the eldest sons of Dolan's Morte believing that non-vampire races were more than just meat and they could be used for more productive things, and even left the island itself in order to pursue their own notions. Though this
does it list a name? Sorry.
It does not.
Okay.
It seems like that there was a name, but it's been stricken from the record.
Ah, okay. No family trees or anything shown.
No family trees shown at well, there is a family tree when you go through more of the history, but that son's name is pretty much looks like it's been expelled from the nation's history, almost as if he's been exiled. But this also caused a bit of a power vacuum to where his leaving caused House Faline to fall out of grace as well. And this once proud house is now near the bottom of any vampire political standing.
Oh boy.
Like there's even like side notes that it looks like some spunky scribe probably wrote in themselves really quickly, just mentioning in footnotes that there is now like a great rivalry between these two houses that has at times ended in bloodshed, has ended in assassinations on both ends of higher ranking individuals. There's even a mention that the lady of House Faline once remarried another prominent lord in order to try and regain some power and prestige that their house once held, and he was killed on their wedding night.
Oh, that's suspicious. Okay.
But everything you seem to read in here seems to strike true with what Isolde told you.
There's no family charts anywhere else aside from these tomes, just like nothing that could be found of the noble houses.
There are like if you were to peruse other records, you could find tome of the history of every family house dating back to the creation of the houses.
Oh my. For the record, I'm doing my copy pasta spell. Or I'm just like copying notes.
Okay.
It's way faster than having me to write it because I just slap it with my hand and then slap it on another piece of paper and go bam.
Xerox.
I got my
Make a
Xerox
Xerox
right
machine.
here. Exactly.
Slap-ho.
Especially anything I can find, like the family houses and whatnot.
Okay.
Definitely good. I'm not grabbing every little detail, but just kind of like the key notes that they find.
Okay.
And then want to probably look into, I'll probably do it hand in hand a little bit with the Death Knight thing, but definitely want to look into the history of what this island is now, as far as like dangers, creatures, anything that, any sort of information and all of it that Kema can find, so they can kind of be on the lookout. So when they do travel, they kind of sort of know what to expect and maybe can not really know how to deal with it, but like know, just have some more information on them instead of going, oh, look,
Right.
this crazy thing. What is it?
Let me pull out the Pokedex.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so I will let you choose between either getting that information or the information for the Death Knight for like your first stay here.
You know what? Probably more important would probably be the creatures that we may encounter in the forest.
The flora and fauna of this land.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
right.
just everything that could kill us and not.
Go ahead and give me another investigation roll.
Ooh, I rolled lower, 24.
Ha ha ha. So you're able to find a very, very detailed and specific book that goes over not only the key beings here on this land, being the humans and the vampires and non-vampires that inhabit the towns and everything. It gives you a little bit of a detailed history of all the towns that are currently on the island. But as you go deeper into the book, you see that there begins to talk about various creatures and entities that seem to wander this island, especially during the night. It seems the veil, you've noticed this before, as Mia's pointed out, the veil between the physical plane and the astral plane here, or the ethereal plane, is extremely, extremely thin. So calling it an infestation would be a kindness when it comes to ethereal beings such as spirits and wraiths and all that fun stuff. Hauntings and possessions seem to be a common occurrence here, especially in areas where discourse and stress tend to run prevalent.
Oh, that is very good to know. Okay.
It also details the hags of Silas Bog. Many covens and many lone hags wandering the bog. Instructions to just pretty much stay away from the bog unless you absolutely need to go in there. Even the town of Silas Sorrow is not a place to go in unprepared, as the book sort of hints that not everybody who's living there is what they seem.
Ah.
Even some speculation that the town itself isn't a town and more an entity of its own that seems to feed off of fear and despair. Though this is just a rumor.
No. Rumors come from some or truth. Okay. Since the veil is very thin, definitely going to look into what we can do to protect ourselves or cure ourselves if possession were to happen.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana roll.
Ooh. It might be a slightly different roll. Nope, same one. Okay. Oh, let me see here. That is a 21. Slowly getting worse.
21. Yes. Oh, slowly getting worse with a 21.
It is.
So you know that certain warding glyphs or charms or anything have been used in the past to protect individuals from possession or from attacks from the ethereal plane. Though depending on the power of the entity in and of itself, the ward's protection could vary. There isn't a 110% end all be all solution to prevent somebody from being possessed. It all goes depending on the individual's mental strength versus whatever is trying to possess them, and if there's any sort of protection charm or whatever put on them.
Emma's like, oh god, we're so fucked.
And as you continue going through this book, you see that there is a very extended chapter on a location inside this island known as the Blighted Scar. And the opening passage mentions that this area is quite literally hell on earth, or the equivalent.
Wait, what's the island?
No, the Blighted Scar, the area of the island. It
Gotcha.
is pretty much hell, as outsider entities, shadows, shades, every fearful thing, in any walk of life seems to be able to come onto this island from the multiple extra dimensional tears that seemingly just form at this scar. No explanation has ever been found as to why the scar even exists, and any attempts to quell the scar has only ended in the scar getting bigger.
Yeah, the more Kemek reads, the more Kemek's like, I fucking hate this place. It's Malorsic all over again.
It's Malorsic all over again, exactly.
Malorsic, this is just where they all teleported to. They just all came here.
This is Malorsic 2.
So Kemek's pretty much at that point just going to focus the rest of their time just trying to figure out what they can do to obtain these talismans or something to prevent some form of protection. Any protection's better than none. So, yeah.
So Kemek's got her project for a while.
Yep, pretty much. Oh. Of course, copy pasta.
Yep, copy
always wear protection,
especially when it comes to possessions. Yeah, so I'm going to say like your investigations of the island's history and then everything that could pretty much kill you is probably going to take you the 4 hours.
Yeah, that's probably good enough. Yeah.
Alrighty. And before we move on to those at the tavern and to Cass's internal conflict as to what a paladin is supposed to do here, we are going to go ahead and step away for just a moment so we can get up, freshen our drinks, and all that fun stuff.
I solve problems when
And
it comes to shit.
we are back.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I had sex with a pineapple once.
An ugly pineapple.
Hi. We're into those hours of the night, I see.
Aw, you missed me.
Groudon, I will say that the character idea, like the backup character idea that you gave me, has
Yeah.
me having to think of contingencies upon contingencies of fuckery that happen if you ever play that character.
I gotta remember what class I wanted.
Oh, I do. I remember what class it was going to be.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. It was
You'll
great.
never forget.
So, I can't. It is scarred into my mind.
Oh my.
But I said yes. I said you can do it. It's just going to be a very interesting situation if that ever happens. God help you all if that ever happens.
Oh god.
It's not a
It's
promise.
worse than dice.
It's not a promise that that Groots has a backup character. It's a fucking threat.
If you kill me, it's on. Or I kill myself.
You kill me, you only have yourself to blame.
Now I gotta try to actively try to kill myself, and freaking Roger's like, no.
Why aren't any of the monsters attacking Alistair? Hell if I know. All right.
Plot
Dragonborn
armor.
repellent?
You see, that's how you make sure your character doesn't die. You just threaten me with an even worse character that would be coming in if your character dies. But anyway,
Who knows?
back to the characters who aren't dead at the moment.
Yeah.
I was
As
dead at the time.
the nerds are in the book area doing the book things.
Wow.
Nerds.
You can't tell me that Mia and Kemek aren't nerds.
Look, some of us are trying to get some shit done. Others are just trying to make friends.
Look,
We don't have time for friends.
every place you go to is just like, y'all got any books?
Pretty much.
You got games on your
It's
phone?
like the two of you,
Yeah.
the two of you are just team reading Rainbow. That's all you are.
Yeah. And it's helping?
It's getting a
Not
lot of
Mia.
good stuff done. Hey, I'm making acquaintances, and I'm about to go make a new hag friend. So
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what they're gonna be, as a friend.
See, that's all I have to do is just introduce
information.
information of hags to any one of Fox's characters. It's guaranteed they'll show up.
I like hags. What can I say?
Same.
You know what? It usually turns out okay for me. Sometimes I get a little cursed, but it's usually okay.
Just a little curse.
Don't worry about it.
Small price to pay.
So, we now go to the first floor where both Alistair and Val are currently entering into a small, like, makeshift tavern.
And Spike.
And Spike. Can't forget about Spike.
No.
And as you
Fucking
enter
Spike.
in, it seems like tonight is a rather dismal night, as you are the only ones aside from the bartender in this area. And the gentleman behind the bar kind of like looks up at you. You can see he's got like very sunken eyes. It's like extremely like dark black bags underneath them. Doesn't look like the guy's maybe slept an hour in the month. He kind of looks over at the two of you. He's like, What do you need to drink? What do you need to eat?
Well, I still need some meat for this one. She's gonna knock down at Spike. A bottle of something strong. It's been a long day.
Can you be more specific on something strong?
Surprise me?
One of those. Okay. You kind of looks over at Alistair.
Plate of meats, tea, and your strongest ale. Doesn't matter. Just give me ale.
Right. Take a seat anywhere. Be out in a second. And about 10 minutes later, your food and drinks around. He kind of just like puts it down in front of you and walks away without a word. Kind of like very slowly walking back.
Like Baywatch slow, or
No, like almost shuffling away. Not like
old man shuffle.
Like
Kinda?
he's trying to overhear what we're saying type of shuffle
no,
away?
like
Or...
he's just moving extremely slow.
All right. I mean, hey, whatever he's got up his ass.
And as
that's
soon
fine.
as like he steps away and your food is down in front of you, all of a sudden the area populates. Almost as if like a glamour is undone. As you see that there are a couple individuals seated a couple tables away, probably about 4 of them, deep in a meal and a conversation with themselves. All of them in these odd looking bright green and gold tunics, where with the crest of a golden scroll with a silver dragon claw. But the floor is yours.
Pull up a chair for Spike to sit in and make sure he has a place with a bunch of meat in front of him because hungry dragon is not a good thing.
He kind of clambers in with like his back legs on the chair and his front legs up onto the table.
Yeah.
Hey.
Look at this point, she's used to it. It doesn't faze her. Pour herself a strong drink.
And Spike kind of looks at you after starting to eat the meat. He's like, ugh, I'll give them this. They may be vampires, but they know how to cook.
Well, that's good.
So, it's the two of you's whole notion on what's going on.
Politics were never really my thing. Kind of the reason I didn't stay home, but part of me wonders if other houses tend to interfere when she ever gets a stronghold. I start wondering if it's outside forces. Seems to be there's a lot of countries invested in keeping them here.
So like outside nations and interfering in the politics.
Yeah. Disguising as the other houses, keep them squabbling.
That's almost draconic in their politics.
I mean, it benefits them. They get to keep dumping their prisoners and keep the vampires here. Stick in some spies with those prisoners they drop off. They could easily get it done. It wouldn't be hard.
Yep, they don't. I mean, we kind of just got off the boat. Nobody really paid us any attention. Sort of just like, oh, here comes more fresh meat.
Yep. Oh no, Alistair, you have a different opinion. You've been here a bit longer.
Well, usually at times you just kind of gotta keep your head low and not make yourself wanted in a place like this.
You're not wrong.
And he just eats his food.
Spike just shakes his head. He's like, "You're not wrong. Being wanted here, if you don't have one of them fancy pins, seems to make you a meal."
That, and I'm very far away from where I am somewhat protected.
So you've been here looking for that curse, right? Not the the curse, the demons, the cults, or whatever the hell we were hired to do.
Pretty much looking for a cult. They keep eluding me, kind of pissing me off. Yeah, pretty much.
Ironic that we ran into someone who pretty much pulled us away from them as we started on our trail.
Do you think she's involved?
I mean, he got us out of that swamp.
I'm thinking if you want things to return to the way things were, the best thing is to stir up discord. Give something for the houses to unite against.
Sort of like bolster the cult, create a common enemy, come out looking clean.
Yes.
That would be smart. You ever look into any of the houses, Al? Maybe that they had any sort of inside dealings with the cult?
Not sure. Did I? Because I have no clue.
Unfortunately,
I
no.
got nothing.
Like, you've been drawing up blanks ever since you've been here. Like, it's gotten to the point to where you have a bit of paranoia that there is somebody watching you at all times, because anytime you think you make any headway at all into any part of your investigation, you're just dealt another reverse. Like the previous night when you encountered that Death Knight was the first headway that you've made since you've been here.
I mean, that sounds a lot like... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So that sounds awfully a lot like it supports the theory that the cult has some support. And if it's not her, it could be another house. It's politics were not my thing.
Unfortunately, I've had to do with many politics, but I can't make heads or tails. This is the only lead I've ever had, and basically it's just a hassle. I mean, I'm thankful that you guys are here to kind of support me a little bit, but it's just makes you want to smash your head into a wall.
Yeah. Probably definitely an angle we want to look at.
As you're having this conversation, one of the individuals from the other table sort of get up. They sort of very slowly walk towards you. And specifically eyeing Alistair.
Are they walking up from behind Alistair or coming to the front?
Like, Alistair could see them getting up and walking towards him. Excuse me, are you Sir Alistair?
Who's asking?
My name is Jones, sir. I have a message for you. A request.
May I ask by who?
somebody in the house of my sponsor wishes to meet with you outside of these grounds to discuss the ongoing cult activities. They say that they wish to mention that they have information into the dealings of this cult. He produces a map and hands it to you, Alistair. If you wish to meet them, the meeting place is marked.
I will think upon it. Thank you.
Yeah, he nods like, I suggest you do take them up on their offer. They alluded that they have much information to share.
Very well.
He kind of just nods, and he looks back at the other individuals in the tavern, and they all, like in unison, get up and walk away, almost in this disturbing fashion, as each of their footsteps are in time with another. It's right, left, right, left, right, left as they walk out of the tavern.
That was disturbing.
Indeed, it is. May I suggest you gather everyone else?
Take another drink of whatever. I'm just taking this bottle with me. I'll leave whatever gold I need to behind. I said take the whole bottle with me.
Okay. And as you like leave the gold, you kind of hear the bartender is like, you don't need to leave that. Everything here is free as long as you are in service of a house.
Alright, good to know. So, I guess I'll just scoop it back up and bring with me whatever's left over of our meal as well. Doggy bag it. Dragon bag it?
Dragon bag it.
Right.
Oh. I guess go try and find the others.
Okay.
Do you...
Yeah.
I'll head up to the library. You want to go
Can I
and
hold
cast?
that moment? I'll be right back.
Okay. So as the two of you leave the tavern going to search for the other members of your party, Cass, you had some contemplating to do. What does that entail?
Oh god. Sadly, I don't have the... I don't have the correct spell for it, but... being that I am a paladin of said Snow Mother, I am going to very methodically, it's not the right word, purposely sit down with my holy symbol and just reach out to the Snow Mother for a slight amount of guidance.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d20.
15.
15.
Not
It
sure if you want
doesn't-
anything on that.
It doesn't surprise you much, but in your service to the Snow Mother, you know her to be distant at times, only seeming to reach out to her followers or even answer their inquiries if it fits her needs. Unfortunately, tonight doesn't seem like she's down to take any calls.
Well, then I am basically going to sit there for a couple hours, just mulling all of this over and just mentally open to words from the Snow Mother.
Okay.
Even if she's not answering, I am listening.
All right, give me a
waiting
moment.
And pondering.
Okay. So about 2 hours in of you just reiterating everything that's going on, you feel a connection happen. You know, normally when I don't answer hails, my followers give up. You, on the other hand, keep talking. I knew there was a reason why I chose you for this task. So with all your mullings and everything, how can I be of assistance?
I need to know what the correct path is.
The correct path.
No matter what the decision, many people will most likely end up dead. And I just want to make sure they're the right ones.
It's never a very simple question you lot come to me with.
If it was a simple question, I wouldn't need your guidance.
I unfortunately cannot give you a direct answer, as he who shall not be named, the royal high seat pain in the ass that he is now, has set rules on what we are allowed to tell our followers. But I will tell you, not everything is as of it seems, as this countess is telling you, or even what the other house representative has told you. They all have their motives. I can tell you that you and your friends need to watch your back. You are very valuable pawns in the upcoming power struggle. The right decisions, or hell, even maybe the wrong decisions, you will have the ability to shape the political outcome of this land.
And it's our job to figure out what the lesser evil is.
If I remember correctly, you were originally tasked just to investigate a cult.
And if we could walk up and deal with the cult and walk away, life would be easy. But
Life is never easy.
no. And now we're here.
Well, after you deal with the cult, I believe that whatever lies next is your decision. You were simply tasked to take care of the cult. You could leave these vampires to deal with their own political power struggles. Or you can decide to play politician. First and foremost is the cult.
Do I have your blessing to ask forceful questions to get the job done?
You know me. Forceful is one of my tenets.
Alrighty then. I shall inform the others. Thank you.
Do not tell the others how to contact me so easily. If I had to listen to multiple voices droning on for hours, I would try to find a way to rescind my godhood.
That's
Let's
why
keep
you
this-
are the god and not me.
Let's keep this between us.
Please relinquish my godhood. I'm tired of these voices.
Like, they told me I could just ignore anybody who reached out to me, but this one won't shut the hell up.
All I hear is permit.
Answer the damn question and I'll quit asking. Okay. And now that I've got a happy answer, I'm going to go find food.
Okay. And you're able to find food. You pretty much come in to the tavern as soon as Alistair and Val are leaving.
You might want to get your food to go. We have something we need to discuss. Probably here's not the best location.
Fine.
Important enough, I interrupted Spike's meal. You know how treacherous that could be. Well, I guess you don't know, but you can imagine.
As you say that, you see that Spike's just eaten the bag along with the rest of the meat.
Not the incorrect answer.
You mind picking up an extra portion? You probably still want one.
I am going to go find someone who I can request for food.
The bartender's still there. Let me guess. Meet and surprise you with the drink.
Two chickens and whatever is going to get me through the night to go, apparently.
I can work with that. He comes, you only wait about 10 minutes and he comes out with the chickens and just like a jug. I heard your friends tell you to get it to go.
Indeed. Apparently sitting is too difficult today.
Nobody sits in this place. Everyone is coming and going. Needing to go to the library and other areas of godforsaken safe house.
That doesn't excuse interrupting what could be a perfectly nice meal. But
Look at it this way.
Here
at
we
least you're
are.
not bound eternally in a pact of servitude like I am.
you know, I heard that same thing not 10 minutes ago. Seems to be a running trend tonight.
Get used to it. It's all over the island.
And off the island. But what do I owe you?
Nothing. We
Strange,
don't-
but okay.
We don't charge employees, you can say.
I don't ask questions some days. So, thank you and have a pleasant evening.
That's never happening. But as you get your food to go and everything, the rest of the group is sort of like gathered together. Is Gilly there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Your group is now gathered together.
Okay.
Oh, sweet. I'm just gonna relate to everyone. I have some headway with our cults, someone wants me to meet them, but I was wondering if Chemic, you could use that magic to spy on people.
I'm sorry, I use what to spy on people?
Whatever your bird is.
My raven?
Yes, that.
I could use him to spy, yes.
Yes.
fits in
Can
perfectly
you
in
use
this
him to
scenery, I'll tell you
spy on
that.
our conversation?
I can, yes.
So I do caution you with the
All
way
right.
this came to us. It's awfully convenient.
It was very convenient and it was very suspicious. Super.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel like there's a bigger game afoot here. I was telling Alistair here that I wonder if the cult is a power play, a way to unite the other houses.
Am I there at this point?
Yes.
Well, so glad you asked. No. Everybody's vying for power and we're being used as pawns.
No.
And I have it on good authority that we should ask questions by any level of force necessary to get answers.
Mike has a big grin.
I like
Go
that answer
on.
better.
Anything short of willful murder can probably be used.
Who did you have in mind to start questioning?
Do I look like someone who asks questions? I just demand answers.
I mean, they go hand in hand depending on who's looking in.
Listen, if I could
Where are
take
they? Where are
somebody's
the
head,
femboys?
if I could take somebody's head off and ask them questions afterwards, it would be so much easier. But
I could help with that.
Damn it.
You don't think
You
I
could.
don't have that spell?
Mhm.
You could.
They're not wrong.
I mean, it would give
an
someone an
anthropologist,
incentive to
sir.
answer our questions properly.
I mean,
It
You
sounds
know,
like
answer the question or we kill you and Chemic asks you anyways.
it sounds like the first person to question has already reached out to Alistair.
Lovely.
Marcy, I like
Oh,
that answer a
and I
lot
have
better.
a spare bird here for a small dragon.
I
Spark's
mean,
probably
all you
already
have
eaten
to
it.
really do is, if it's something outdoor, Moonin looks a little bit more natural to the surrounding. If it's indoor, just pretend he's your pet.
I could very well do that. Would you be willing to be prepared in case shit goes south?
Always.
Oh, that's the lovely thing about Moonin. That out of character I keep fucking forgetting about. If something were to happen, Moonin can protect you. I can cast spells through him.
And then the rest of us come running and solve the problem.
But let's try to get information first before we just start blasting.
Oh, absolutely. Ask information, get answers. If they start being difficult, give them options.
Funny thing is, though, if we do make a friend from this while we gather information, I've been looking into talismans to protect us because I know none of you did this, which is fine. This is my thing, but I did some research and this whole island is just fucked with spirits everything in between. So
Grabbing food.
we should probably get some protection if we're going out. It's not 100% guaranteed, but some is better than none.
Yeah, I was actually kind of thinking the same thing, although I didn't look into it. I was doing other stuff, but I was thinking something that could protect us from scrying would be great.
You know,
That's a
I'm
good
not
idea.
gonna lie. That is excellent. I guess at the moment, though, my priority is more possession. But considering how we're being used as pawns, that is also excellent for us to use.
Yes, because I wouldn't mind collecting as many of these pins as I can get my hands on. Swap them out depending on the situation. But I did think that they would be the perfect object for scrying on people. So I don't want to be scryed on, so something to protect us from that would be great.
It's one of... They are a known object, which makes it much easier.
Precisely.
But thankfully, we have a face to some of our
Just
people to also make
remember, we don't want to trust anyone.
No, so like home. Got it.
Something like that.
Although, the scribes seem okay. I don't know if any of you have met any of them yet, but
Which ones are
seem
they?
alright. What was the name of that house?
Vandross.
Vandross.
What do their pins look like?
It's a golden scroll clasped by a dragon claw.
Oh, so the creepy fucks that dropped off the letter. Got it.
I would still assume they're not to be trusted.
I met one of them in the library. She was quite nice.
When a group walks off in synced steps, it's a little creepy. Things moving in unison and normally not good things.
Okay,
I'm gonna look around right now and see if anyone's eavesdropping.
Give me a perception roll.
Perception is... Oh, my perception's good. Okay. Oh, pop off there, die. All right. 26.
One question.
Mm-hmm.
How apparent are you making it that you're looking around?
Trying to be subtle. Not
Okay.
trying to like full on head swivel around. Definitely kind of
Give me
shifting the eyes.
Give me a deception roll.
Oh,
Oh, God.
no. Oh no. Oh, that's not terrible. Okay. That is a 17 for a 15.
Okay. So as you're talking, you start to like just glance around the area, and you do see off in one of the walls, there seems to be like a peephole sort of like cut out of it, like just cut into it, and you can see a singular eye looking in, watching you.
Wait, poke it. Just kidding.
So
This is gonna sound so weird. Does the eye look familiar?
give me a history roll.
Given that I've kind of been locking eyes with essentially the two people, really. The two main people. History roll?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Oh, that's right. I forgot I have expertise in it. Okay. That is a 30. I have a plus 15.
It almost looks like the eye of the individual who gave you your items back at the cart. Like this, like this very pale yellowish eye, sort of is looking in at the group.
already have a telepathic bond with my bird. I'm going to tell my bird to just fly around a bit nonchalantly and then just squawk as he blocks the hole, like he's perched on something, to just squawk.
Okay.
Just do the crow thing.
So
Oh,
your
motherfucker.
bird flies around a little bit and just perches next to like a small wall sconce. It just lets out just a deafening squawk that all of you can hear. And there's a thud coming from inside the wall. Very audible thud, as if like somebody just fell down.
Hemmick then will look at the group and in a hushed tone be like, "We have a looky-loo eavesdropper by Moonin."
Like inside the walls.
Shall I deal with it?
Sounds like it. If you want to punch the wall, by all means.
Yeah.
Could be funny.
Maybe
Oh,
something a little
absolutely. I'm gonna
less
punch the wall.
destructive.
You're gonna punch the wall?
I'm gonna punch the wall.
Oh god.
Okay.
The DM's like, okay.
So you see,
We punch first, ask questions later.
go ahead and give me an attack roll against the wall.
Sure. Okay.
When he's done with
Just
that,
straight D20.
No, an attack roll. Like you're actually making an
Oh,
attack
okay.
against the wall.
Sure. Okay, I can definitely do that. Here we go. That'll be a 28.
So Al walks up, cracking his knuckles, and just throws like a bone-shattering punch at the wall, and it connects. And there is a hollow thud from it, letting you know that on the other side of this wall is like a small alcove. And as you hit it, there's no damage that's necessarily done to the wall, but about 5 feet away from you, a panel opens up along it. About 5 foot tall, just enough for somebody to crawl into like the space in between the walls.
Is there anyone in there?
Oh. I'll peer in. I see.
As you peer in, all you see is the back of a heel leaving the little alcove from another entry point. And you can hear feet running off.
As we see the heel move, is there enough time for me to shoot a arrow and try to entangle him?
You can, but remember you were told not to cause any sort of harm, as this is neutral ground.
Wait, but that's
No business on company grounds.
that's right.
Continental
Yeah,
rules
what-
are applying here.
Yep, pretty much.
Spike, you want to bring him back?
Go ahead.
What did you say?
Ask Spike if you wanted to bring him back.
No, not really. Don't really want to run off alone. I don't know them. Big guy here said, we're being used as pawns and question everything. I'm not about to run off on my own.
Oh, please, it's not like he can't be resummoned.
Doesn't mean I don't feel pain.
Fair enough.
So we know we had a spy.
Oh, I knew people would be kind of looking in onto us.
May I suggest next time we figure out we have a spy, we're perhaps a little more tactful about it?
Not gonna lie, I said it as a joke. I didn't know he'd actually do it. It's okay, I don't do jokes well, probably for this reason.
Well, in the future, if such a thing occurs again, I am able to teleport short distances, so I can just like appear right behind people.
In a
Well,
wall.
the next time you ask for me to punch a wall, I'll laugh next time.
As long as I can see where I'm going, I can go anywhere.
Not in a wall.
But if there's a peephole, I can look through the peephole and teleport to the other side.
Through the eyeball.
Well, clearly whoever was spying on us was startled by Moonin, and we all heard the thump, so they weren't right at the eye hole anymore.
I can just clear that up to you. It was one of the footmen that took our weapons. Ooh, that could be someone we can question. But first things first, probably this one that approached you. It's a start. I have more I want to say, but not until we're in the confines of my tent or not in this house. Because obviously we're lacking privacy here. I may not like what the lady does, but I'm smart enough not to piss her off outright.
And it's probably safe to
Got a
assume
point.
that unless we're somewhere like in your tent, somebody somewhere is likely watching us.
Exactly. There's much I want to do and say, but again, not the right time or place at the moment. So shall we go ask questions?
I mean,
I love asking questions.
Why not?
the few of us can go maybe pick up a couple pins and ask questions while we do it. Assuming the lady still offers us her pins.
You are all still in possession of those pins.
Oh, the original pins, yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about them from the...
No, and the other pins as well. She distributed them amongst you all, and
Oh, I declined mine.
Oh, okay. Well, everyone else who didn't decline it would have those pins as well.
My misunderstanding. I thought we had to pick them up.
She sort of like handed them to all of you while you guys were in the carriage.
I could have sworn he said pick him up in the morning.
I probably did. I'm a liar. I mean, I'm a DM. It comes to the territory.
He changed his mind, just roll with it.
Yep. Fine. I see what you did there.
I'm a DM. We speak in doubles.
So I forgot. Are we going together or am I just going by myself?
No, Moonin's going with you.
Cool, I got a buddy.
I don't know.
As long as you're within 100 feet of me, I can hear and see through him, so, I don't have to be next to you.
Are you able to teleport me?
Am I able to what?
Teleport me?
Unfortunately... Wait, do I have that spell?
If you don't, I can help with that.
Let me double check. I know I have something. I know I'm like in the works for teleport, but let me see here. I know I have this spell. No, I think teleport's a higher level spell. I don't think I have that yet.
Honestly, you might want to look where on that map he wants to meet you. It might not even be in this house.
No, it was outside. Is what it
Yeah, but
said.
did you look at the map to where you were supposed to meet them?
Oh hell no, I didn't. I'm gonna look at it now.
Probably be a good idea because it's not directly outside. I'm gonna take chat to a screen here. Are all of you on the map right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that artistic square that I put on the map, that is where you are currently at, the safe house.
Oh.
That red
Oh, wow,
X.
we're much further away. What the fuck, lady?
That red X is
Oh,
where
jeez.
the meeting point is at.
Oh my
God, we weren't even that far from our original little waypoint. She took us the way the fuck over here. God damn.
Is
But we
that
were being-
is that at least 100 feet?
That's more than 100 feet.
I mean,
Fuck.
we're not
you know
staying in a
what?
safe house, Alistair. We'll travel with you, and then you can.
Yeah,
can
so
on your
the
own.
so the square is where we are right now. Where did she where did they want us to meet?
I'll put this over here because this is where you guys are at.
Oh, the X.
The X, yeah.
Oh. Okay, I didn't see the X. I did not zoom
At
in.
least it's kind of on the way back to the forest.
Okay, I don't know why I thought this was like a hey, meet me out back by the shed and we'll talk. I don't know why it was like that kind of situation. I didn't realize it was
That's
like
what I
no,
thought
meet
it
me here.
was. Not hey,
My bad.
meet me fucking several leagues under the sea.
Right. This is not a this is happening tonight sort of situation. Got it.
Which is probably for the best because I'm still pretty depleted from that battle with the dead guy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
definitely think we need to take watches tonight. My tent might be useful.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
You mean
You know,
don't want to sleep in the
What's that saying?
lavish
Gift horse in the mouth?
luxuries.
No, I'm good. Luxuries are just a way to get yourself killed most of the time. You get so focused on them.
not with that attitude.
Well,
Yeah,
I
what
hope
is
you
your
stay at
luxuries
this
going
point.
to do if you get attacked?
Well, Alistair's luxuries attacked us.
That
Now
is
those
true.
sound useful.
Wait,
you have
what
any
do you
of those
mean?
with you?
When we were in your house and all your traps went off, nearly killed us. That's what I mean.
Nearly
I copied your
disintegrated
room.
You're in my
Nalani.
house.
Yeah, it was fine.
I copied your office, by the way. Anyway,
You let us. No, sorry, I wasn't.
I mean, my what? Why were you guys in my house?
Because that's where we were told to go
because you
at
let
the
us use
entry
it.
point
By who?
into the city.
by comrades that told that. So technically, out of character, you contacted us saying, "Hey, I'm busy, but this come to my place. There's a entrance to go to blah blah blah." Once we reached Morning Glory, so we technically got your permission.
They got your permission to go. They got your permission to go to the house. They didn't get permission to touch your shit. By the way, they touched your shit.
All the shit.
To be fair, we had to touch your
Nalani
shit to
tried-
get to the
Nala-
entrance.
Nalani tried to open up a wall safe and activate a disintegration trap that almost killed her.
We need some health potions, okay?
I have to ask, did you take anything?
I
I don't
wasn't there.
think so.
No,
Only ideas.
nobody took, and nobody was able to take anything because the house security was too good.
I mean, we did rummage through all your personal stuff in your office, but we didn't
Mhm.
actually take anything.
Fuck. Found my collection of smut. Damn it. by the greatest vampire ever, the Ashes. Just kidding.
The ashes.
So
I didn't know how to say her name right.
so the are you going after this individual, or are you like making plans to head out in the morning to meet, or to head towards the meeting location of this mystery individual?
Oh, totally, Rust. We
I
need to
thought
rest.
it was like a meet out back, but it's not.
No.
So probably do it in the morning.
Okay.
Yep, that sounds like a plan.
Seeing how Val is elf, only needs the 4 hours of trance time, she'll definitely take up however many watches she can cover in the first half of the night so that everyone can sleep soundly. We don't need as many watches.
That would be, you could do 2 watches.
Yeah.
I have a question though, because you mentioned the tent. Where are you setting this tent up at?
I will find one of the vacant rooms on the 3rd floor that we were told that we could take.
So none of the rooms on the 3rd floor have the dimensions enough to be able to house the tent, as they already have their own furnishings.
What if we remove said furnishings?
It is a one-man tent. Can I, like, move a desk aside?
It's gonna be a little tight to do so. Though, if you want to, the main entrance area where that art was at is spacious enough for you to use the tent if you don't trust the house, the rooms that are being provided for you.
If it's a matter of space, Kemek might be more inclined to save the tent and just share rooms and do watches. Kemek's kind of on board with Valiana's idea of just taking watch.
Enter no tent, she was taking watch. Well, whichever room we pick, we should probably thoroughly check it for any more of these entrances.
And peoples.
Do you want to use the one where we already located some of it, or should we use a different one?
And everyone else can do what they want. I'm just going to find a room and search it up and down to make sure there's no peepholes or any funny business.
How many people can we fit in a room?
I don't care if
One
anyone watches
person.
me if I'm naked.
It can fit
Not very
one
luxurious.
person comfortably.
So whatever we do, we need to pick a set of rooms where they're all in a row.
I mean, you technically have your choice of rooms. There aren't many people staying at the safe house tonight.
I think we just choose our rooms and call it a night, unless there's anything specific that anyone wanted to do tonight.
Not anymore. Who's am I waking up for 3rd watch?
I don't want to volunteer anyone, but perhaps our
I'll do it.
paladin here would be willing to take a watch.
Oh, happily.
I heard Alistair said he would, so you can wake him up for last watch. And I'm gonna find a place where I can see everyone's bedroom doors. It's a little uncomfortable because I can't see if something happens on the inside, but
So you're taking watch in the hallway.
yeah.
Okay.
I do it from the bedroom.
So as everyone else retires to their rooms, shuts their doors, and begins to prepare for their full rest, Val, you notice that as soon as the doors shut, there's an audible lock, and then each one of the doors vanishes, leaving in its place just a solid wall.
Bitches and hoes.
And that is where we are leaving off for this week.
That's fun.
Damn it.
Fuck.
I hate this
Whores.
place.
I mean, it could just be a defense mechanism to keep other people from barging into your room while you're sleeping.
Oh, I
mean-
do have teleport. Look at that. Oh, I don't
do
have
teleport.
circle. I knew I had one and not the other. I don't have the circle. That's what. Yeah. Okay. Cool,
But
cool,
yeah, so that
You
is
have
going
teleport, but you don't have teleport circle.
that is going to do it for us tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, it's not the only show that we do. Coming up tomorrow on Tuesday is another episode of our Star Wars game of Tales of the Outer Rim, which is run by Tiltbot. Upcoming on Thursday is going to be another episode of Tricorn Isles, which is another 5th edition campaign that I run, which I'm every day I have to prepare for a TPK because it's just like I don't suspect this group to live very long. You are way too
I
chaotic.
think we're doing great. I think
We are doing great.
We are no
the last
more
episode was
chaotic
Longer than the last pirate game.
than the Gibbering Mouthers crew was.
True. True. But at the same time, that was my first my first time DMing on stream, and I didn't want anything to end in a TPK. Now it's just like, oh, you guys fuck around. It's time to find out. But yep. So another episode of Tricorn Isles will be on Thursday. Normally on this upcoming Saturday, we would have an episode of Wayward Wanderers, but we have a couple people out, so there will be no Wayward Wanderers on Saturday, unfortunately. But we will circle back on Monday for another episode of us here on Destiny Forged. I gotta check something. Oh no, it's not the last Saturday. Never mind. I was gonna talk about Would Be Heroes as well, but that's not for a couple more weeks. But yeah, so also if you've missed any of tonight's show or any of the shows in the past, everything is uploaded to our YouTube channel. All of our games, all of our campaigns, all of our one-shots, holiday specials, all that fun stuff is located over there. But yep, we are going to head on out. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll catch you on Tuesday.
Bye.
I got a pizza.